Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. There is something about this time of year which makes me want to grab my Switch, snuggle up and play Animal Crossing. Of course, the snow has begun to fall in game, so I thought now would be the perfect time to share some of my winter and Christmassy builds with you to help inspire you. Don't forget to like and also subscribe, and also let me know in the comments what your favourite thing is to build this time of year. So the first thing I wanted to show off was a poinsettia farm. This is obviously very synonymous with the whole winter period, and it's a gorgeous red flower. So for this idea, I wanted to use the red lilies because I think they're kind of the closest to the actual poinsettia. It's a shame we don't really have a real item in the game, but I did decide to use some little carnations, a little bouquet, and have a little stall over on the right, so it gives the idea that you can not only farm the poinsettia but also sell them and come and buy them as well. This is a villager yard, so I wanted to keep it nice with the cabin area as well. It's just a little filler area and I think it did work really well, and the red definitely pops against the snow, which is nice. For number 2, we have an outdoor cinema. I know this is a very popular build during the summer and also spring in the game and even in fall as well, but why not have it in winter too? I think that obviously in real life I wouldn't recommend watching a film outside in the snow, but in Animal Crossing anything goes. So all you want to do is just add in the nice projector screen and the little projector item, and then fill the whole area with blankets and snacks and everything kind of cozy. I had a little scarf kind of custom design for this island, so I wanted to include that as well. Even though it is very snowy and I imagine it's very cold, I still think this does call for quite a cozy build. There is a good selection of kind of red things as well, just to help things really tie in with the rest of the island. So I even added in the popcorn machine, which is obviously a must, and there is a nutcracker watching over everyone as well. At night it kind of glows as well, so it's really pretty during that time. I love this idea. I know it's going to be very cold, but it is still very cozy. Next up is another absolute winter classic build, and this is a reindeer stable. I love doing these, and the custom designs on the simple panel are really cute. There are some really good variations of them if you wanted them without the red nose, or maybe you like the red nose, it's up to you. Think of other things that you can place in a stable, such as the hay bales. I also dropped some apples for them so they can have a little bit of food. And then I did use the illuminated reindeers out the front just to give it something a bit more in the whole yard space. But yeah, think farm stuff and have a lot of fun with this. The storefronts are the easiest way to construct the building, I think personally, and also the simple panel doors are really effective as well, just to finish off the whole area so it doesn't just look so open. But I love this build, highly recommend giving it a try if you've never done this one. When thinking of build ideas, I kind of take inspiration from real life things, so I kind of thought, what do you do at Christmas time? And I think carol singing is quite a popular thing. So this, I just had a really small area, and all I did was make this flat little stage, added in a piano, some curtains behind it, and then a little microphone and some musical instruments. And then it wouldn't be complete without a place for people to sit down, relax, and actually watch the performance, so I just added in some benches. You can add in some Christmassy touches here as well. I went in with the little mini Christmas trees just to make it feel that little bit more festive, because this island, this particular one, kind of had more muted color tones to it, so I don't think it really screamed Christmas as much as some of my other ones, but I still think it's wonderful, and you can definitely take this to the next level. You can make it bigger if you want to. You could even have it as just like a little cozy area on your island. Really cute idea, think it works wonderfully, and I don't find myself using the musical instruments all that much in game, so it's a good excuse to get those out of your storage. Next up is a little bit of a more ambitious build than what we've seen so far. I'm going to call this a whole mountain area. I decided for my winter island, this particular one, that I wanted to have hands on my island, so I thought he is literally the abominable, however you say that word, Snowman. So I decided to make his own little mountain area for him. This took a lot of terraforming because I wanted to get the height up behind the house and then also have it sunk in so he can't escape and terrorize anyone. There is lots of those snowy volcano items dotted around, and then I did add in cardboard standees and also some of the trees as well, just to make it feel like there is foliage, and also play a little bit with perspective as well, which is kind of fun to do. I don't do it a whole lot in Animal Crossing because it scares me, but when it does work, it works really well. So you get this gorgeous viewpoint overlooking the mountain, and when it snows, it feels kind of ominous as well. So it really does make it the perfect home for hands. You could just do this as a nice river area or maybe a pond if you wanted to. You don't have to put a villager home there, but I do recommend pushing yourself, giving it a go, playing around with the terraforming, and also that kind of perception of the builds and the depth. I love decorating campsites in Animal Crossing, and I also love doing winter ones. They are slightly different from your summer, your spring, because I think they call for things that kind of bring warmth to an area. So for example, maybe even a little heater or a little campfire. Lots of warm drinks as well definitely is a must. This one has some rugs, it also has a futon as well, and lots of pops of red, which is one of my favorite things to do on this island. It did kind of vary throughout the 3 islands that I done, but I did like the way this looked. I also added in a little tiny pond, which meant that I could put in a fishing area, and I think laundry areas are also kind of a must for camping areas and campsites as well. So there is one of them as well. I just think it's adorable, and you can really play with nature and kind of have that nice contrast with the whole cozy vibes and also the natural ones as well. So it's nice to have it kind of come together. For number 7, we have a garden centre. You might be thinking that doesn't sound very Christmassy or wintry, but there is a thing here in the UK, and I don't know if this is like this worldwide, but garden centres go all out for Christmas. They have loads of decorations, you can go buy your tree, and they're just lots of fun. So this one maybe doesn't have all of that, but it definitely has some elements where you can go and pick up a tree. It has a few decorations, so I wanted to kind of create that here as well. And it does have some decorations out front too, but the main area has actually been created using the medieval sidewalls and also the fences as well. I just thought that was a nice detail, and it just feels cozy. It has kind of a more of a muted browny kind of tone to it, but I really like the way that it looks. If you're looking for ideas that aren't Christmassy, then you could also do this on maybe a different, like a spring island. It would work really well for as well. But yeah, you've got to have a till, that is a must, a plants is a must, and Christmas decorations is a must. Another winter staple is something to warm your bones, so why not make a little hot cocoa or hot chocolate stand? These are so simple to do, but you can really pick those small items and make it look really adorable. So here we have a storefront and then the stall in front, and then obviously the drinks making apparatus. There's also a little seat where you can just sit and enjoy the cold weather. I don't know how much enjoying of the cold weather will be done, but I think it just added a nice little feature as well. These areas make great filler builds, so if you're struggling on your winter island and you're like, I don't know what to put here, put down a little hot cocoa stand, because you can never ever have too many of these. Another build which I think is great for winter is ice fishing. Now you could have just any old fishing spot next to a kind of pond or a river on your island, but if you find these little custom designs like this, then it looks like the ground has been drilled out and you can actually fish in them. And then next to this, I just kind of put like little stools and stuff, because fishing takes a long time, so you need to have somewhere to rest whilst you're doing that. Obviously some drinks as well, and then I did just put this little storefront area at the back, so it kind of felt like this whole area was a dedicated fishing area. And then that meant I could add in like things such as the fish box and the smoker as well, and the rod stand. I love these items, so it's really nice to be able to kind of include them and have them all in this one little area. It's a great little filler build. Again, if you wanted to, you could build it out, make it bigger as well. Sometimes it's just a lot of fun to experiment with the Christmassy, wintry items that are available in the game. And if you have a strong colour theme, maybe you want to attach that to your house, your village, or your resident rep homes. So this one is just a really nice decorated house that I just wanted to show off because I think it looks adorable. So out front of the house itself, we have this little rocking chair area with somewhere with the books as well, and the little snow globe, just to give that nod to Christmas. I love this item. I think it's so precious. delicious. And then outside we have lots of custom designs again to try and tie it into Christmas. So we have the letters on the floor, which I imagine are like Christmas cards. There's also some mittens and holly on the ground, and also a little firewood kind of add-on to the house, which I thought was nice because it's winter. You're going to need to have those cozy open fires kind of roaring, so you need lots of wood for that. There is some boots outside as well, but then it just really plays on with the other natural stuff like the trees and having them at different heights, maybe some animals as well. So we have the bunny rabbit and also the holly bushes and the red flowers as well. I don't know why, it's nothing spectacular, but I just think it's a really adorable, nice little home, and I would be very happy living here. For number 11, we have a Christmas tree farm. I have done a few of these over the years. The first one that I'm going to show you was actually attached onto a villager yard. So for this, I had the villager home at the back. I built onto it a bit with some storefronts and then made this decking area so it can be like a shop come functional workshop area as well. And then the trees are out down the front. And then for the second one, I did more of kind of a whole build. I built up using the storefronts, using the retro transportation stops as well. There is some simple panels in there as well, so it kind of feels like a barn, maybe a bit housey, but I still like the way that the structure looks. It doesn't really have to have kind of a purpose, but this does have a shop area as well with the little till. I think the key things to remember that when you're doing a Christmas tree farm is to have a good mixture of trees, so you can play around with the different heights of the actual trees that grow in game. You can use some items, you could use some bushes, and then you need to remember to have little things to break up that, so those little details such as dropping the axe, dropping saplings, maybe having some wood or some log items around, even a wheelbarrow. Those kind of farmy elements as well will help make it feel kind of more put together and not just trees placed down. So having those things really does make all the difference. As I said, I love building these. I think they're so cute. I really wish that every winter island had one of them. When you're thinking about Christmas, obviously one of the things that children receive is toys. So you could add a little Christmassy themed workshop onto your island if you wanted to. This one is a little bit more rustic. You could definitely go over the top with sort of everything Christmassy, Santa Claus workshop, but this one is a little bit more kind of muted than that, but it still has those elements that you can take away from it, such as like the little crafting areas, using the paint bots to give the ideas that the toys are being painted, having some wood items as well. Those little toolboxes are really cute. You can also even have like a little truck out back with some cardboard boxes and the conveyor belt, giving the idea that the toys are all being packaged up, ready to be shipped out to the shops. A nice little filler idea, this one was attached to a villager yard again. If you like to attach your builds to your yards and give them little jobs, this is a great one for that. Another one of my favorite winter builds is definitely creating ice skating rinks, and you can kind of do this in two fashions. You could kind of have a more structured ice skating rink, or you could have a more natural one. I've done a couple of the natural ones and also one structured one. The natural ones, I kind of had one which had the snow path on it because I just didn't have any more room for custom designs, and then the other one did have more of kind of a icy feel to it. But both of these have like little cocoa stands next to them just so you can warm up, and there's also some details such as sleighs around, a little seating place maybe to kind of bandage up your injuries or just change your shoes, things like that. I think that these are really cute and kind of make for a nice space where it's kind of cleared out. If you have trees surrounding it, make it feel like it's in the forest as well. Just adds another little bit of kind of scenery to the whole build. For the more structured ones, I think this is definitely more kind of square or rectangular, and then you can still have those other elements with it. So you can still have a little cafe or something if you wanted to. You could even put a feature in the center like I did with the Christmas tree and kind of build all around it, have some fencing around the edging. And this one is kind of got the backing of the walls as well, just to make it feel more enclosed. But I really like all of them. I don't have a preference. I just think that they're fun to kind of do different takes on them. So whatever one might work best for your island, maybe you're doing more of a natural winter island or more of like a city or a town winter island, it will depend. Obviously, one of the furniture items we have in game is the Snowpeople, so if you wanted to, you could even make a whole build out of this. It doesn't have to be anything massive, it can just be something that is just a little bit of fun on your island and kind of gives the idea that the villagers themselves have actually created these. So for this, obviously you need to place down your Snowpeople, and then maybe you just need to go in with some smaller details. I found a scarf custom design, which is great. You can also drop things such as the carrots and also the little coal pieces, which in fact are iron. A little secret between me and you, but these work really nicely, and it kind of does give the idea that it has been put together, and it's very wintry. You can't argue with that. Next up, we have a ski lift. This was kind of inspired by Nina Try. She did this build and I really loved it. I'm sure other people have done it too, but I think it was such a nice idea. So for this, all you need is some chairs, and then I've used the kind of swinging bench behind them as well. And then you have the utility poles, and then along the sides you can actually place the string lights as well. So it gives that whole illusion of it being a ski lift, and separating it over the levels is just a bit of fun. At the top of the ski lift, I also added like a little ticket center as well. And then this kind of feeds into the next build, which was a whole ski chalet. So we had the ski lift and then up to the ski chalet, which was actually my museum. And then this area kind of has like a whole decking area out front where I could put some little kind of seats and stuff, and then there was also a ski shop as well. So obviously you can come here, you can buy all of your ski needs, whether it be clothes or your skis themselves. I'm saying ski a lot, I know, I'm sorry, but yeah, I love this whole idea, and it kind of made it feel like a whole little mini resort back here on this little mountain, and I think it kind of worked quite nicely as well. It was something different to do with my museum, which is always fun, hiding the museum and just having a little bit of an experiment with that. Obviously, you can have lots of different shop ideas for winter. You could do like an ornament shop as well. But this one, I decided to do a candle shop. I feel like a candle shop would look a bit out of place in summer or spring. But in winter, I think it's fine because you're trying to get all of those cozy vibes. So I just had this walkway and I was like, I don't know what to put here. So I just decided to put a couple stools and then fill it with lots and lots of different candles. Obviously a till as well, and have some box out front as well. I just think it's a nice little filler, especially if you have long walkways and you're doing more of a structured island. This could just work well, and as I say, you could put whatever you like on it. Alongside shops, I think post offices are also a must-have. I kind of have done these on nearly all of my winter islands as well. I just think it's perfect because you can send off your packages and parcels to your friends and families, so you can add kind of like a Christmassy touch to them as well, whether it be by having gift piles in there, customized cushions that look like special presents, or even just like having a Christmas tree in the corner. Again, you can use storefronts and kind of build like whole structures if you wanted to, or you could just have it open. That works as well. Have some seating, maybe a little desk for them to work at, lots of storage as well. There are some nice simple panels you can get for post offices, but either way, another Christmas wonderful build. Number 19 kind of feeds onto the post office because obviously you need to wrap your presents to be able to send them. So for this one, I decided to make it like a villager yard again, and I just have a little section out front of their home where they can wrap all of their presents. So have lots of dropped wrapping paper, maybe the presents that you're actually going to wrap up, even a sewing kit, because I think they kind of maybe look a little bit like the scissors and things, so it kind of ties in nicely. You can make this really cozy by having like pillows and blankets and things, just to make it feel that little bit more wholesome. But again, this is a great idea for a villager yard. It could work for an interior, or just have like a whole gift wrapping station on your island. There's nothing wrong with that. Another thing which is a really cute villager yard idea is writing to Santa Claus or writing your Christmas cards. So you can have a little setup again wherever you like. It doesn't have to be outside of a villager yard, but similar kind of setup with the table and the chairs, but this time you want to have like the writing items, so whether it be like a typewriter or some form of the homework set, that works nicely as well. Either way, it's got to have pen and paper so it looks like you're actually writing a letter, which is just really adorable. Winter markets are a great way to go if you have a large open space on your island and you don't know what to do with it. I've done a few of these over the years, but one thing that kind of remains the same is having some sort of feature or focal point in the middle, which does tend to be a giant Christmas tree, because I think these are just obviously so festive. Around the outside, you can add benches if you wanted to, maybe even some presents, so it's like a community kind of tree. And then for the market itself, you're going to need lots and lots of different stalls, and these will all be selling all of the Christmassy, wintry, festive goodies, whether that be food, maybe some toys, maybe even some antiques, just like random bits and pieces. There's lots of different things you can use to sell here. Even ornaments work well as well if you really want to go to town on all of that Christmassy goodness. I think these are great ways to kind of fill up areas, and they look great. They're just really cute, and it makes me want to go and visit my very own Christmas market in real life. Next up, we have a winter bakery. Again, this is one of those builds that you can kind of do throughout the year and just tie it into whatever season you're working on. The bakeries, obviously this time of year, you can decorate it with the Christmas ornaments and maybe some little details such as the holiday candles. I love them. They're a great item. And obviously the items that you're selling in your bakery are very important as well. There is some good seasonal baked goods in the game, such as the Yule logs, pies, the Berliners. They all work really nicely, so make sure you have them out on display. And even think about like the drinks as well, so maybe people want like a nice cup of tea with a tea cozy on, and you can use the mum's item for that. But either way, it's just again another really nice way to kind of bring in some coziness to maybe a more versatile build and make it seasonal. Number 23 is a train station, and again, I don't really feel like this is specifically Christmas, but I do love the idea of having the train station all covered in snow. For this train station, I used my museum and then built up around it, and because this island was set in winter, you can kind of see the snow rooftop on it, which I thought was really nice. And then out front of that, I decided to do a little bit of a newspaper stand and also somewhere to grab a coffee before you get on your train. If you wanted to make it feel really Christmassy, have like a giant Christmas tree out front. I think that would look wonderful, and it does kind of give the idea, if you wanted to make it even more Christmassy, maybe you could find a way to make it look like the train is pulling presents or something. I don't know. I wish that was a thing. That would be really cute. Number 24 is more specific just to winter. If you're wanting to kind of get all of those cozy vibes on your island, why not have a cozy reading spot or a reading nook? This one is next to a villager yard, and I really just wanted them to have a nice space where they could come and warm up and just relax. So this has got a little bit of a Christmas tree out front, but it's mainly about the books and kind of the comfy sofa and the candle as well, just to give it that little tiny bit of warmth. I know it's going to be cold out there, but I think it looks really adorable. Speaking of keeping warm, number 25, we also have a little fire pit. This is another little filler build, and I think that winter, kind of thinking about ways that you can kind of keep warm, having a fire pit spot on your island just in between maybe natural areas or like on paths and things just off of it would look really nice. So for this, I've used lots of cushions that have all been designed in the red. There's a little kettle there so you can have a nice warm drink as well, and then just other things that you might find around like a fire pit area, so like a little barrel with a lantern on, and then it's just really about all the nature. But again, another simple but really effective tiny little filler build that will look great on a snowy island. So there we have it. There are 25 winter build ideas for your Animal Crossing island. Let me know what you're planning on doing if you're doing a winter island. I hope I have inspired you. Don't fear, there is still time to get it done before Christmas. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.